All right, boys and girls, we are going to start working on our narrative poem. So I have made a Google slide for you. Now, if you prefer, you can do this in your poetry journal. Make sure you take a picture and send it to your teacher so you can get credit. But you can also do it here on this Google slide. So you're going to answer some questions before you begin, and I'm going to do mine with you. You are welcome to pull this up and do this and work along with me at the same time. But I'm going to show you an example of mine. Okay, and I'm going to change the color of my font. Okay, so number one says, think of a time when things did not go as you expected. Write a sentence about it. So we got to think of it as a true story. Think about a time you were disappointed. You thought something was going to turn out different than it did. And write it here. So I'm thinking about a time when I was in fourth grade, actually, and I had auditioned for a play, and it was a musical. And I practiced and practiced for this part. I wanted the lead role in this play. So I learned the song and practiced it all the time. So um, I'm going to write, I auditioned for a play, but did not get the part. Okay. So write your sentence there. What are you going to write about? Now yours won't be like mine. You have your own memories, so make sure you come up with your own ideas. Describe the scene. Number two. So where were you when this memory takes place? Well, I was at the school auditorium. And I remember this vividly because it's a really important memory for me. I'll never forget this happening. All right. When did the story take place? So I was in fourth grade. Who was with you? Well, I remember it was just me and my music teacher. And the other kids that were auditioning for this part that was the main lead. So my music teacher, me, and other students. Okay. If I can spell and. All right. How did you feel about what happened? Well, how do you guys think I felt? I didn't feel good, did I? I was sad. Um, I was, disappointed. So I'm going to put disappointed. Think of one detail you want to emphasize and write it here. So, the one thing that I really want to emphasize in my poem is to never give up, to always persevere and keep going no matter what. So I'm going to put never give up. And then what poetic device will you use? So, what elements of poetry are you going to include in your poem? For example, I'm going to use rhyme. Ooh, boy, I really can't spell tonight. Rhyme, and I'm not using repetition, but I am using rhythm. My poem will have a flow to it. Remember, we talked about rhythm and iambic pentameter. So I'm using rhyme and rhythm. Okay, so I know what I'm going to write about. I know some of the facts that I've thought about. Where were we? When was it? Who was with me? How did I feel? What's something that I want to focus on or emphasize? So, go ahead and write down your answers. If you need to pause the video, you can, but I'm going to show you my poem. Now, I've already thought about it and I've written a poem I want to share with you so you can kind of see. Now, also, my poem is a quatrain, which means it has stanzas consisting of 4 lines each. So I kind of made it like Casey at the Bat. So it has the same kind of format. All right, my narrative poem. So now, after you fill in your chart, you're going to come to the next slide and you're actually going to write your very own narrative poem. Okay. And you can use as many slides as you need to. All right, I'm going to share mine. Read it to you now. On a rainy day in late September, I met with my teacher. I remember I was prepared to sing a song. I knew for sure it would not take long. The song I knew by heart. I was eagerly waiting to start. On the piano, he began to play as my nerves slowly slipped away. Are you feeling the scene? Are you seeing where I'm with my teacher? We're in an auditorium. He's playing. And I was eager to start. I was excited. The auditorium seemed a somber place, but as I sang, it became my space. The melody I knew so well. I had this part. I could tell. I went straight home that night, feeling confident and light. I told my mother, I just know I've got this. I'll be the star of the show. I was giddy at school the next day. The cast names would be on display. I looked for my name, but it was nowhere to be seen. The envy in my heart caused my face to be green. Have you ever heard that? Green with envy? It just means I was jealous. I decided that day I would not let this define me, as I thought, how can I go on with such dismay? I would prepare myself for another day. As I got older, I kept trying out for parts I wanted without a doubt. I succeeded and became a local talent. I succeeded and became a local talent with clout and fame. The moral, to be sure, is don't give up. There is a cure. When disappointment is creeping near, perseverance is the answer. It is clear. All right, I hope you enjoyed my poem. It was about a true event when I was in 4th grade and I auditioned for a play, a musical, and I did not get the part. And to this day, it's a really, really important memory for me. So I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. Um, did you notice as I was reading, it had a certain rhythm as you read it? It's like a sing song. So those are kind of fun to read. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. It does not have to look exactly like mine, but if you're going to use some different elements of poetry, make sure you tell us what you're going to include. Maybe you want some alliteration where you repeat the beginning sounds. Um, I don't know. It's up to you. Hyperboles, exaggerations. Um, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with, okay? So have fun with this and good luck. Oh, and by the way, I am including on your Google Classroom a YouTube video, and it's a cartoon version of Casey at the Bat. I shared it in my Zoom meeting, and it is so funny. So I hope you guys will take the time and watch that. It's like 8 minutes and enjoy that. All right. See you guys later. Bye bye.